Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm really excited to dive into a very super useful concept in Python today, and that concept is dictionaries. If you've been following along with our series, our journey into Python, you might have already encountered a few things like lists, where we store items in an ordered sequence in a collection. And today we're going to explore a different way to organize data, to organize our data. One that gives each piece of information a special label. All right, I have prepared some slides as per usual. So let's get started. Um, this is what we shall cover today. We'll look at what a dictionary is, some examples of a dictionary, how to create them, accessing data in that dictionary, and a bunch of other things. We'll end this session with questions. So let's transition to the next slide. What is a dictionary? Think of a dictionary as a real world dictionary. What do you use dictionaries for? Occasionally in life, when you do not know what a word means, you might pull out a dictionary, or you might even Google it or use AI tooling like ChatGPT to ask questions, like what is an apple? And then it tells you maybe an apple is a fruit, right? So Python dictionaries work a very similar way, and they're usually made up of two combinations. The first part of a dictionary is called the key. The second part is the value, the data that we want to access. Okay. Why is this particular thing powerful? It means we can't access data using indexes or indices like we saw when we covered lists the other day. So we can instead label our data with a convenient name, as you will see shortly when we transition to our code environment and so on. So our code will become a lot readable, like you will see shortly. Okay. So let's take a look at how to create a dictionary. All right. I would like everyone to open up their terminals. And we are using IPython as an example. I will, first of all, make sure I have enabled virtual environments for the class today. So allow me a few seconds to set that up. I'll call my folder intro. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see everything. So intro to dictionaries. And we're going to navigate to that folder using the cd command. Who remembers how to create a virtual environment? Okay, thank you for your answer. In the chat section, let's take a look. So I will use Python 3 -m. Name of the virtual environment will follow after the first invocation, first part of this command, which is venv. So let's create it like that. Awesome. Who can tell me how to activate virtual environments after creating them? Anyone? All right. All right, so we activate environments using the special keyword in our Linux terminals or Mac terminals called source. We'll follow it with the name of the virtual environment, which is venv in my case, /bin/activate. In here, I'll install using pip, a command we learned in our introductory courses, although we go a bit deeper when we learn more about packages and things like that. So pip install IPython. We'll give it a few seconds to install this. IPython is a nice tool that will give us some nice colorization. We'll be able to see the code come alive a little bit. And once everyone has installed this, I'll wait a few seconds for everyone to have this. And if you have any questions, need help setting this environment up, please raise your hands. Let's take a look at that stuff together. Otherwise, we can proceed. So for those who finished, all you have to do is type the word IPython. You get an amazing interface that looks like that. I will clear my screen because I want everyone to be able to see properly. And let's go back to how to create a dictionary. We shall use a special bracket or a brace in your keyboard. Again, Let's all get comfortable with our keyboards. We do need to know where to find these kinds of things. So we'll type person equals, followed by this special bracket, also known as a brace. And I'll put a name. And in this case, my name will be John Doe, followed by maybe John Doe's age. We'll put John Doe at 28. And John Doe lives in a city called Berlin. So what you will notice is everything. There are a few things I'd like you to notice, and I'm going to draw a little bit on my screen, okay? Every key value is separated by a colon, this symbol here, a colon. The key is usually identified with a string or in a string format, so don't forget to use your double quotations or single quotations. Again, in the teams you'll join in the future, preferences like this will creep up, so do check in with your teams in the future. Followed by the value, and any consecutive key value pair is separated by a comma. So you'll notice a bunch of commas like that, all right? So I will press enter. That's how we tell IPython that this is okay or good to go. Again, any questions? What do you think is happening here, right? If you have any errors of some kind, you can share your screen and get some bit of help along the way. All right, so now that you have this information in code, perhaps this will be in a file in the future. We'll store code in files, but since we're using the terminal, this stuff is not going to persist. It's not going to be saved. And we shall just pretend to be accessing information, all right? So we're going to use the print function to print out data. You can print out the entire dictionary if you like. And that's what it looks like. Print person, our variable. We can do a lot of things like accessing the data. So we access the data as follows. We'll type the variable name person, then we'll use the square brackets. Again, please look for the square brackets. For some of us, maybe we don't occasionally type them, but it's somewhere in your computer. Again, if you need help locating it, please raise your hand. Followed by a quotation to signify the start of a key. And then in this case, I would like to access name. So this is what I might do. And you'll see that that's how we access some information. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, we're all happy? Now, I'd like everyone to try to access the other pieces of data. I will copy and paste this code for you to interact in case you've typed some typos or, you know, you're a little bit behind. We shall wait for everyone to catch up. Okay. So if you're doing this, please try to access the age of this individual and the city. I'll do it very quickly. So I'll type print person square bracket age. You'll notice that I'm now using single quotations again. It goes back to our previous conversation. The strings can have a single or a double quotation. That all depends sometimes on your stylistic preferences as a company or as a developer, right? Awesome. I'll give you a few seconds to play with this stuff. All right. Now, there are certain things we can do to a dictionary. We've seen how to create a dictionary, but what if we don't want the information that's present in that dictionary? What if we want to change it? For example, this year, this particular individual is 28, but next year, their age is going to increase. So we can do a bit of editing. We can modify the information. So type like so, and maybe increase it to 29, like that. That's an example. We can print out the entire dictionary person, and you'll see that the age has increased. Now, as a small exercise, I'm going to allow most of you to try to change the city. Let's say John Doe decides to move from Berlin to Hamburg. Please try on your own, try to change the value of the city, then we can proceed with the next instructions, okay? We'll also go back slightly to look at the theory in the slides, just a quick overview, and then we will come back to a bit of live coding and so on. All right, so let me quickly adjust the location of this individual. So we'll just say they have now moved to Hamburg, and we can sometimes in these terminals, we can also just type the variable name and it will give us an output. Other times you can use print statement. And I'd like to draw your attention to city. It has been changed to Hamburg. Fantastic. Any questions before we proceed? All right, so I think we're doing great on time. So the next thing we can look at is an ability to delete things we are not interested in. We have seen how to modify and also change. So perhaps I am no longer interested in the city. So I will use a special keyword in Python called del, short for the word delete. And we shall type the name of the variable and the key we're going to delete. I would like to delete city for now. That's how we would do it. We delete by the key. Then let's type person just to see what it looks like. And you'll see that now the keys are less. All right. So the city is gone. And that's kind of what we've covered so far. We've covered how to create dictionaries. We've covered how to access the dictionary. We can modify values. You can also add new values. All right. So again, you see that? I'm going to go ahead and add a new value called country. A new key called country. And the country we shall put is Germany for now. See that? When we type person again, you'll see the country is Germany. So you can add new key value pairs and so on. All right. Now let's take a look at some of our background theory. A second to get it back. All right. So what did we cover? We saw that to create the dictionary, we used curly brackets. And every other consecutive pair was separated by a colon and a comma. So something like this. All right. We also saw that we can access values using square brackets and a key. What we've not seen is what happens if we try to access a key that does not exist. The theory says we get a key error. So let's put it into practice. Let's go to our terminal. I'm going to switch back to the terminal screen and try to access, I don't know, maybe something like gender. Again, we get a small little error that says key error gender. Key errors are errors that happen when a key does not exist, when a key is missing. In the future, you will learn how to handle these types of errors properly, and we'll take a look at that type of thing. All right, so attempts to access a key that does not exist will always result in some kind of key error. We also saw that we can modify by just repeating the name of the variable followed by the key, like this, and we adjust it. And of course, you can do all sorts of cool things. You can add new values, etc. Deleting, we saw, was something using the del keyword, short for delete. You can delete key value pairs you no longer need. Again, you do not need to provide the value, just the key is enough for deletion. So we've seen lots of cool things with dictionaries. Now, what are we going to do next? All right, again, if anyone has any questions, feel free, raise your hand. I will answer to the best of my ability. Okay, no questions, fantastic. What's the next lesson? The next lesson we're going to look at is how to iterate, how to use a for loop over the values of dictionaries. We'll take a look at nested dictionaries. This is a situation where you have a dictionary inside a dictionary. We look at situations like when do we use a dictionary versus a list. Yeah. Now I hope this introduction to Python dictionaries has been very helpful. Remember, practicing this stuff is key. Try to create your own dictionaries after this session with different data types and experiment with adding, modification, deleting. Just play around with it until you become comfortable. Thank you so much for joining me in today's session. Again, I'll be available for QA, questions and answers after, for those who are interested. All right. Have a fantastic day.